Alright. Hello guys, welcome, or if you've already seen my channel before, welcome back, and I am the Philadelphia Whovian. And for this video, well, we've all been there guys, we've all gone through it, where we had no choice but to eventually say, I'm gonna sit down and rank the Harry Potter movies from best to worst or worst to best, whichever order you like to go in with things. Yes, and with this one I said, you know what? I've had time to stop and think about it. I really have. I'm going to just go out there and I'm going to do it. But I warn you guys of two things in advance. One, I admit my list is going to be probably very polarizing and totally different than almost everyone else's. But that's what these all are. We all don't have the same list. There's no way you can almost ever have the same list with someone else unless by some mere chance of serendipity. What can you do? That's just life. So with me, my other bit of caution with this is I actually don't have the DVDs to bring them up every time because it turns out my nieces took them all. I had all the Harry Potter movies on DVD. And I went to look for them for a long time now to do a review on all this, and I found out they took all of my Harry Potter DVDs. I have no more Harry Potter. Guys, what can you do, huh? I mean, I love my nieces. They're great. I can't even hate them. The truth is, they can have it now because they're my nieces. It's fine that they took them. I love them. What can you do? But I don't have my Harry Potter movies anymore. It's so heartbreaking in that way. But again, they're my nieces, and you know what? It should go to them. It really should. And so I have too many DVDs anyway, because I'm a DVD hoarder. Okay, so I'm just going to give you my list of from best to worst of the Harry Potters without having any physical Harry Potter movies in front of me. But what can you do? Okay, so again, guys, my list is my list, but if you have a different list, please don't be offended. We all have the right to have our tops, faves, and our least faves of the Harry Potters, if you even have a least fave. So keep that in mind before we begin. Okay, so now beginning with the number one, the best for me of the Harry Potters, is the third movie, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I saw this in the movie theater like 5 times. This is when I really got obsessed with Harry Potter. And the first time, it took me a while to accept all the things that were not in the book or were changed from the book. I'm not gonna lie. And there even were some things where I point out, like, while I love the film, I'm like, why is, why does Professor Flitwick look completely different? Darn it. And while Michael Gambon is a great actor, I do miss Richard Harris as Dumbledore. I'm not going to lie there. And there were, again, some changes where, like, why was that even changed? Like, why was Arthur Weasley, why was he the one to blatantly tell Harry about Sirius Black when we know that Harry overheard it? Why that? I'm trying to think of what else they have. Oh, yeah, and the idea of the downplay of the Marauders. Like, we don't know much about the Marauders as we do in the books, and that was a big key element. Come on. And how Sirius overpowered Professor Lupin when Lupin was a werewolf. Sirius had the strength as a dog to overpower Remus Lupin, the werewolf. Why now is he just made to be too weak to look after himself? Like, why are these reasons, this reason here? Why does Ron keep holding on to the window when it's full of ice and all that such and what? But even when I gave all this criticism, I could not deny that even though I missed how things were in the book and I missed Quidditch, oh, I miss Quidditch. The fact is, it still is a darn good film. It's well directed, the pacing is well done, it's beautiful to look at. Alfonso Cuarón, however you pronounce his name, did a very good job overall directing it. I did enjoy it a great deal and I did love it. So my number one entry is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. My number two for my second favorite Harry Potter movie, ooh, guys, this is where you probably might tune off because my second favorite is a very unpopular one, but I absolutely love. I can't change that I love it. My second favorite Harry Potter film, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. The very second Harry Potter film. Oh my god, I love this film. I think it's also because I love the story. I love the story of Chamber of Secrets, so I loved it when it was on film. But here's the thing, this was the movie that got me into Harry Potter. I didn't know what Harry Potter was until I saw this movie. And the great thing about this movie is you could have not read the books and you understand exactly what's going on. Later in the Harry Potter franchise, you can't always say that when it comes to the films, but you can say it with Chamber of Secrets. And because of the length of Chamber of Secrets, the movie could be very accurate to the book. So it could be very faithful. And I love that. But I also liked how magical it all felt, how whimsical it all felt. Even when it was dark, it still had those great elements to it. It was just so, I love this one. I love it so much. I love the color palette to it. I think it's just so great. And then you have Tom Riddle, who gives the most underrated portrayal of Lord Voldemort in the entire franchise. I love Ray Fiennes, but darn it, this guy, he gave such a great performance as Tom Riddle. He gave literally the Tom Riddle explains it all thing at the end where villains explain their entire, scheming plan and all that. And he somehow delivers it with such conviction and ferocious intent that was subtle. Oh, it was so good. But I love the actors in this. I thought the three actors did such a good job. I always loved Hermione. I love Emma Watson as Hermione and Rupert Grint as Ron. I love them all, guys. I think they're great. But oh my god, they just stepped up their game even more in this one, and I love them for that so very much. Love all of this. And again, Richard Harris as Dumbledore. I love everyone. I love all the teachers. I love everybody in this. I just do. What do you want from me? So my number 3 entry of my favorite films is a tie between Harry Potter Harry Potter 7, Part 1 and Part 2. I look at them as one long film. I just connect them together and say they're one long film. And people have problems with the first film. I don't. Part 2 is loved, so I don't have to really explain myself there, but Part 2, Harry Potter 7 Part 2, it's awesome. We all love that one. But Part 1, people say this one is the one you can skip over, or it's just useless, or there's not much action. Okay, first of all, I know other Harry Potter films that get more credit than Harry Potter 7 Part 1 that have less action in them, have more pacing issues, but people don't seem to notice in those ones, but they notice here. And also, there's a lot of action in the Harry Potter 7 Part 1. It begins with action where we have the chase scene where they gotta get Harry out of Privet Drive. There's that scene. Then there's a scene where, at the wedding of Fleur and Bill Weasley. At the wedding, the minister has been killed, and now they get all attacked, and then they get pursued again when they're in London by the Death Eaters. Then we have the 3, Harry, Ron, Hermione, infiltrate the ministry. We have that. Then we also have, the scene at the very end with Dobby. Oh, Dobby. And then we have Creature too in this. We have a lot of really good action scenes in this. And the scenes that are not action-packed, I'm fine with. Oh yes, we have Nagini when she transforms. We have that as well. And Voldemort almost coming there. Oh gosh, yes. We have also the Snatchers always chasing people, and that lead Snatcher, he was amazing, and he was amazing. So I don't have a problem with Harry Potter's 7 Part 1. I liked it. And people forget that we have been complaining about the Harry Potter movies not being split up into 2 parts since Harry Potter Part 4, Goblet of Fire. So I'm sorry, I don't know what you guys are remembering. But I don't hate Harry Potter 7 Part 1. I like it a lot. And I love Part 2. So my 3rd entry. My 4th entry, another time, is going to be polarizing. Because, again, this gets almost as low as Chamber of Secrets on many people's lists. Harry Potter 1, the Sorcerer's Stone or the Philosopher's Stone. Guys, okay. The first 2 movies get so much flack for being bad or this. First, in the first movie, Chris Columbus did not have the budget he needed to get the franchise fully done. He worked with what he had and did the best he could with what he had. With what he did, and what he had, he did a good job. He did. Also, I didn't want the Harry Potter movies to be so dark so early on. Harry was like 11 years old, and so was Ron and Hermione. Then in Chamber of Secrets, they were 12. I didn't want too dark of a color palette. for the first two movies. I liked the brightness of it. And it just made, again, it felt so magical. You feel the magic just vibrating off of the screen through it in Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban. The first three movies just gave you the feeling of magic being everywhere. And I liked that feeling. But I liked the first two movies and the brightness of them. I wasn't ready for that too much dark when it came to the color palette just yet. And I think Chris did a good job with what he had. He did. And the special effects, again, low budget. He did the best he could with the money he was given. So I know I'm weird for absolutely loving the first movie that on that high on the list, but I just do. Okay, now for the fifth entry. We have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the fourth film. This took me a while to forgive. The fourth film, I was so upset that it was not made into a two-parter that I did not like it when I first saw it. I was so upset about this. And I'm still upset about it. It should have been a two-parter. It should have been. It was just too much action to make into one film. But if you have to suck this long book into one film, Steve Kloves, I think he's the writer of the screen. He writes the screenplays. I think that's Steve Kloves. I could be wrong. But he did a darn good job with what he could do. He really did. Like, I had to really forgive it because I'm like, you know what? You did the best you could. And for what you could do, you did very well. I do have some fun watching Goblet of Fire. There's a lot of fun action there. I miss things. I miss not seeing things. I do. I miss I miss the not seeing the Quidditch World Cup. I really do, very much. I miss not getting to know Fleur, Cedric, and Victor Crumb more. I miss the Pensieve, all the flashbacks in the Pensieve. And I just miss a lot of things to it. I really do. But what can you do? We can go on and on with this. We just can. I still do have fun watching Goblet of Fire as long as I just tune out the part of my brain which will always be upset that it was not a two-parter. I really will. Then comes the sixth book when it comes sixth film, when it comes to from best to worst. And that is Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, the fifth book. Okay, I loved Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, the book when I first read it, but I also loved the movie when I first saw it. But over time, it's grown less and less in my eyes because, like I said before, people attack Harry Potter Part 1 for being not that action-packed. But there's Order of Phoenix, things feel like they sit often. It was exciting to see it on the big screen, but over time, I don't like it as much. I love everything with Harry Potter and Sirius. I love everything around that. But I just feel like it just missed something. Over time, it's just missed things for me. It's just not my favorite as it was before. I liked meeting the Order of the Phoenix, but it hasn't aged well for me, that one. It's not terrible. It's just not the best for me. And the very last one, which is the one I just like the least, and you know what it is at this point because we've counted down, and that is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Part 6. Guys, please don't hate me. And when I first saw Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince in theaters, I overall very enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. But over time, I've just grown to like it least and less and less and less. And I like Michael Gambon as Dumbledore, but as it was with 4 through 6, that's just not Dumbledore. Like, I could forgive him in The Prisoner of Azkaban because he was Michael Gambon, though I miss Richard Harris. He did do a good job in Prisoner of Azkaban. That was still Dumbledore. But Harry Potter 4 through 6, I'm like, well, in 6, he got better. In 6, Michael Gambon was a better Dumbledore. That was the best he was since Part 3. But 4 and 5, I'm like, what is this director telling him? This is not Dumbledore. What is happening? But he got better in this, so this was a better one for him, or better directed. He was better directed in this one. But there's just something about Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. While there are certain elements I do like about it, there are just too many things that are missing that I just wish to goodness they found a way to keep in. This movie just feels, it's something about it. It's just, also it's hard, it's dark. Again, it's just too dark for me in that regard. It's just murky. And while it probably accurately depicts the English weather, it can be a downer after a while. Even though an English person who watched that movie and said, yeah, he's like, honestly, it was a downer after a while. So there are definitely things I like about it. Slughorn was good. And again, there were some funny things too with Harry. Daniel Radcliffe did a really good job in this. Emma Watson was good as always. So was Rupert Grint. All the teachers were absolutely wonderful in this. All the actors were good. This one just doesn't age well for me that much. It's just my least favorite. That's the way it is. And okay, guys, if you disagree with me, it's perfectly okay. That's my list. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Again, if your list is completely different than mine, it's fine. It's completely understandable, guys. Please don't hate me just for my lineup. Not lineup, sorry, for my list. Sorry, guys. Sorry, wrong word there. List. So guys, what is your favorite Harry Potter film, your least favorite? And if you want to comment below, feel free to let me know. Either way, Harry Potter, to this day, I still miss those films coming out because, guys, those were good times. Those were really good times. Well, hope you enjoyed yourself, guys, and hope to see you again very soon.